story up here is that the work that's been done up here, most of it was pretty good work, but a lot of it was, I don't know if hasty is quite the right word, but I think we've got a better understanding based on our work in Saskatchewan, better understanding of the geology. So now we're looking more at a bit more of a structural story. So we're trying to figure out what the plunge is, what's the attitude on these veins, because that's where the real money is going to be in these things. If you can figure out the plunge on these veins and figure out a place where you can drill a hole that's maybe a little bit off attitude to try to hit these things at depth, that's where the story is going to be.
Just explaining a little bit about what a effective channel sample is like. Channels are supposed to kind of give us the best surface representation of what the mineralization is, and it's really important that it's consistent in width and consistent in depth. And this is a really good example of a nice channel.
And then we put in some soil geochem grids. Soil geochemistry works great up here because if there's any gold in the bedrock, the soils are generally quite thin and well enough developed that you can get the gold out of it. And then once you find a gold anomaly in the soils, we'll either go in there and trench it, or sometimes it'll be good enough as a standalone target. And then you bring in the drill. And ideally what we're looking for is a place where you've got a showing with a decent sized vein with some good mineralization in it. We know the trend of it, and then we'll put in the soil geochem and we'll get some hits on the soil geochem grid. And when we plot the soil geochem up, it'll make sense geologically. Hey, it looks like here's the vein we know is here. It looks like there's 2 or 3 or 4 more of these veins that are stacked up behind it. And then we'll come in with the drill and we'll set up. If this is the showing over here and we've got 3 lines of geochem that look good, then we'll set up over here. If the vein's dipping like this, and we'll drill a long hole and we'll try to intercept all those veins. And typically, our experience in Saskatchewan is what you see on the surface is, it's an indication there's something there, but if there's going to be a deposit here or something significant, it's going to be found at depth. So basically, we're not going to sit back and drill a super shallow hole to try to hit that mineralization. We're going to step back and try to hit a bunch of these veins and try to hit it at depth, because that's where the real joy is going to be.